A lot of people, a lot of people have been wondering that, but the only way we ever could have known is if we had a time machine. We just don't got that,
Sure.
do we?
Well, speak for yourself.
You've got a time machine?
Yeah.
That's a lie, and we all know it. If you had a
What?
time machine, we'd have all the Futen footage available to us. We'd have all the capture footage. We'd have all
Okay,
the
but
exit footage.
I whether or not I have a time machine does not matter in those situations. Like,
Yeah, it's
it's not
also crazy. That's
like
also crazy. Just imagine that, like with a time machine, the main goal is I gotta collect more media.
yeah, like listen, I
Of
could go
course, that would
back
be John's
to
first choice.
That's a crazy.
hey,
No, that's not true. That's not
that's
true.
crazy.
If
Okay.
I had a time machine, I feel like my first gut instinct would be I should go somewhere or like I should do something and not I should find lost media right now.
No, listen. Okay, my first decision when I got a time machine was to make June a thing.
There what? Huh?
To
Huh?
to make June a thing.
Like the month?
Yeah, the month.
You made
How'd you
June.
manage that?
Well, I didn't like that there were 11 months.
Why'd you choose June?
I don't know. Thought it was cool.
Fucking you could have named it like after one of the actual pillars. You have to name it after him.
Which- What was I supposed? I was supposed to name it Misawa.
Yeah, you could have. You could have.
Yeah, sixth month of the year, Akira Taue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That'd have been sick as fuck. You might be like joking around, but that would have been the tightest name possible.
Maybe I need to fire up the machine again. Maybe I need to go back.
You do.
I
You
gotta
gotta
stop.
change.
I gotta stop myself from making that change. I gotta tell him, Brody, you gotta go back to the drawing board on the name.
Brother, have you considered naming the month Giant Baka yet? Have you thought about that yet?
I was
I'm just
just
saying, it's food for thought. It'll change your mind about a few things.
I was just a foolish guy with a dream of 12 months. But there wasn't really much thought beyond that. They kind of got me on the spot too. They're like, okay, you've proven there are 12 months. I didn't. And what's the name of the 12th month going to be? And I was like, June.
I mean,
And then I
hey, I
laughed.
don't blame you. I don't blame you, man. It's a lot of pressure.
It is. You try being in my shoes and being told that you got to name a month. Okay, your decision is changing history forever
I
in
would
more
never
ways
want
I
than
to
name
name
it
one.
it.
Mitsuhiro Matsunaga.
Okay, but what happens when Mitsuhiro Matsunaga is born? Okay, he's gonna have a weird crisis when he realizes that his name is the month. Although I guess nobody would ever name that because it'd be like naming your kid August. Well, I know
I think that's very
I
real. I think a lot of folks
I
do
know some
that. Yeah.
Augusts actually. It's like naming your kid November. Okay, maybe I actually might know one November.
The thing is, though, you're acting like any month in the name isn't like the sickest thing of all time ever. If I name
That
my
is,
kid
yeah,
after like a month, I think they'd be stoked about it.
dude. November Sham. Yeah, that's gonna be my
Dude,
kid's name for real.
November Sham is a you got to put that in the notes,
Yeah,
brother. You got to think
yeah.
about that one. You got to think that one over for a spell, cause that's some real shit.
Another thing
Speaking,
that is some real shit is the challenge that we have posed ourselves for this episode of the Scramble Bunkhouse Deathcast. I'm
woo!
Ethan, one of your three hosts, who is currently very stuffed up from the fucking allergies
Bro's
surrounding me
mad
at all
stuff.
moments.
Dude,
Colin is kicking my ass right now. As our former guest host Corey Bailey once said, I feel like I took a shoot backdrop driver.
Our former guest.
yeah,
May he
yeah.
rest in
He's
peace.
yeah, rest in peace.
Yes, now that he is no longer on our show, he is no longer alive. I'm sorry to inform you of that.
Fly high,
But
Corey
I had a
Bailey.
feeling.
today,
Oh,
today
today,
we're
today, you
here.
guys, hey, whoa.
We are
How'd
here
you know
to
before
do
anyone else?
the Scramble Bunkhouse Deathcast WWE Speed Edition, where we have what was it, 15 minutes to talk about each of these two matches.
Yes,
That's right. That's
15.
true.
A cool 15. Because
Tight 15.
nobody likes when you talk too much. You gotta put a limit on that mouth.
You do. You
Pause.
can't just keep entering Yap City and expect things to change.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And also, we are all very busy at the moment.
oh my god, yeah, I hate this. I don't know how. how we're gonna record next week. We'll find a way. There will be one day we're all available. But
Oh,
good
life
lord,
does find a way,
it's true.
but it ain't dramatism though, man. Things do be brazy right now. Things just keep on happening, and they don't stop happening. So
No,
plus, it's a fitting concept given what the theme of today's podcast is, and they're
yeah.
two actually by the metrics of it, they're not sprints, mind you, but they're certainly short compared to the other stuff we've talked about on occasion, for
Oh
sure.
my god, yeah. We talked about the Anarchy War Games last episode, and that was a long ass match
That
and
was long
Long
as
ass
hell.
video.
long ass video, and we've been talking about some pretty notably long. We talked about a whole show like a few episodes ago. Multiple whole shows actually. I'm just now realizing we went back to back with
Yes.
full shows. Um,
Yeah.
this is a nice change of pace. Just two short matches that were very, very different, but also there's a lot of spiritual similarities between the two.
I think one non-spiritual similarity between the two is that neither of them start with the bell. They both start either like 5 seconds after the match started or like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, no, boy, and the first one, that's because they just don't have a bell. The second one, because whoever was recording it is a bastard.
The
That's the
second
spirit of
one because
backyard
they
wrestling.
hate us and want us to die.
They
That's
do.
They
very
do.
true.
Yeah, you're right. They do. They do want that to happen to us.
But I think we need to talk about the first match first. So
Before we do that, hold on. Before
yes,
we do
the
that,
the, the speed challenge.
Ethan, you got to pull up a 14-minute, 4-second long timer.
All right. Okay, I'm going to put this on the screen as it happens.
Okay.
There is going to be a
Right.
14-minute and 4-second timer on screen.
Yeah. So that way, well, you have to you got to show it to us as well, so that way we know when to enter the closing stretch.
That is true.
Yes, I
So
will.
that's when we know when to pick it up, when to turn on the dial.
I'll give you the calls. Like 5 minutes remaining, 10 minutes remaining.
That's crazy.
No. He's cooking. He's
Dude,
cooking.
we're working this like an Iron Man match.
Are we
All
ready? 14 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock.
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
all right.
And I think this should happen before we go into the match. It is Matt Demarest versus MX5 from what company?
This is from June 2013 at the NYE 3 event. NYE was kind of a super show for backyard feds during the period.
And yes, we are going to be talking about backyard wrestling this whole episode. We probably should have led
Yes.
with that.
That's important. Both matches are between people that are not in a professional wrestling context.
In 3, 2, 1. Let's start it off.
Okay, this is a pretty notable match within backyard wrestling. Like that's part of the reason why because I was the one that curated both of these matches. I picked this one because this is kind of a canon match for backyard wrestling around the time. I don't think it's the best backyard match of the era, but I think it's the most symbolic, I guess you could say, of that era, of that time period. And it features
The
two.
most backyard match.
Yeah, it features two of the most important names around that time. Matt DeMorris being pretty much a legend of the scene. Like he's pretty widely considered to be one of, if not the best backyard guy at the time. And MX5, like also considered in that era a little bit underrated compared to Morris, but he's like just as good. And this is a bombs match, and that's what a lot of backyard matches are. Is that the big priority for pretty much all of them is the bombs, and that's really the biggest takeaway with this match. What's the crazy shit that they do?
Yeah, there's no part of this at all that is trying to be anything more than what it is. Which again, I think it's I mean, I said a lot. It's a very easy pitfall again to watch this and be like, well, the moral of the story is to do sicko shit, and then people will go crazy. That is true, but I think that you also have to understand that you gotta do the sicko content without trying to reach beyond the boundaries of sicko content.
Yeah.
Like you can't be trying to like do some storytelling amongst the moves. You just gotta go ham. You just gotta go insane. I would be hard pressed, genuinely, to say if any three of us saw a through line in this match whatsoever.
No, I mean,
Because
yeah,
I think
I
the
think it'd be
only
a
like
real challenge to say that there was one, and that's
yeah,
good.
the
I think
only
that's good.
through line that you could like argue for this match, and I don't even think it's a through line because it's completely fucking unintentional, is how these guys try and fail so many different moves. They like
yeah,
just don't connect the way they want to.
yeah, and
Oh yeah,
that's an important part of Backyard too, which is why I think this is
Yes.
such an important match when you're trying to consider Backyard at the time. Is that this is a match where there are a lot of fuck ups. Like, very rarely does something land like perfectly or however you would imagine it's supposed to land. Like, there's either a slight slip up or like a complete entire fuck up of the move. But that's Backyard. That is Backyard, because I think the big thing with a lot of these matches is that it's really just two guys going out there and like riffing.
yeah.
Like,
God bless. God bless.
they're trying to pop the boys. That is Backyard wrestling. Is you are trying to do crazy shit specifically for the people surrounding you. Case in point, this full match was not public until 5 years ago. Like, a music video was made of it like right after the match happened. That music video was the only thing that existed until 2019.
Oh, and that's crazy. That's insane to think about, actually. Like,
Yeah,
that's nuts.
because I think, and
It
that's
wasn't
kind
even
of
on like that hard drive or anything? Or
no,
like
okay, because that the hard drive that we're talking about is that's the one that Scott Henson handles from like VCW and iSucks Dicks and the other Canadian feds. So that hard drive, they only have matches featuring the Canadians, and they do have matches from NYE3 on there because the Canadians were there. But just their matches. MX5 and Demorest are both Americans. This full match just wasn't available. Matt Demorest himself had the full match, like he's the one that posted it. But yeah, that's kind of part of the thing with Backyard Wrestling. I think Brock was talking about it on Twitter. He's like an
10
old
minutes
Backyarder.
remaining.
Yes. Oh
Oh,
Jesus.
oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, no, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah, Brock talked about it on Twitter. There's like a few reasons for that. Of course, the biggest one being that hard drives were not cheap. They've gotten a lot cheaper over time. And what guys would do is they would just record shit. They would create highlight videos and maybe post full matches depending and post clips. And then they would just delete all of the raw footage and then move on. But the more time went on and the easier it was to store that stuff, it became more about like the full matches are not the point. The full matches are like never the point with this era of Backyard. Because a lot of the times, if you try to sit here and analyze this match, I'm gonna be entirely honest. If you try to break this match down as like a normal pro wrestling match,
the way we do the other matches.
I don't even know if it's particularly good.
Like I said,
Yeah.
there is no through line. There's nothing beyond this, like them doing as much insane stuff as they possibly can, and genuinely having the sensibility to not go beyond that.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they're
yeah.
entirely admittant of what it is they're doing here, and that's very important. That's incredibly
Yeah,
important.
Exactly.
It's a match where they're very clear about what they're doing, which is just crazy shit.
And like exactly, going off of your point, Cake, if they tried to put any sort of like story through line into something like this, it would not land. It wouldn't work. It would come off as hokey and ham-fisted. And these guys
Yeah.
knew exactly what you said, not to do that because this is what they wanted to do. This is the kind of match they wanted to have, and it is goddamn exactly what you would have expected from this era of backyarding. And your point, John, that a lot of these matches don't really hold up to the standards of being full matches. I think a lot of these people who were wrestling the specific style, and I could tell partially in this match, were wrestling for the MV creators, kind of. Like they
Yes.
wanted to be put in like they wanted their matches to have that kind of that MV ability.
I will say, with a lot of these guys, because it's more to two audiences. Like there's the MV one, but I will say these guys were the MV makers. That was kind of a big thing of the Backyarders, that a lot of them would make MVs of their own matches. Like the MV we have of MX5 Demorest was of course made by Matt Demorest. But the biggest thing is that this is a match, really, and you can tell from the crowd, like it's just their friends. Like it's all their friends. It's the other Backyarder. And a lot of these matches are crafted because they want to make their friends go crazy and pop hard for the insane shit. Yeah, they do. there are a lot of moments in this match where these guys do crazy stuff. They go on the outside, and Matt DeMorst hits this insane back suplex DDT thing, and guys are like jumping up and down.
Yeah,
Like,
I saw Makabe more excited than I've ever seen him in any of his own matches.
Yeah.
This thing.
Yeah.
Dan Makabe was popping crazy for the entire fucking match.
That's the happiest this guy's ever been on footage.
Yeah. And I do want to say, I feel like it's
Huh?
One thing I do want to note is that one thing in this match's favor is very rarely do I ever see a match where there are ladders on the outside and they're doing bump freak shit, and they don't use the ladders, and I'm not disappointed. Every time I've seen something like that, it's disappointed me. This did not.
I will say, for those ladders, just to be clear, because they're wrestling on a base, which is a base in backyard wrestling is like those what are they called? Like the wooden like boards and shit. It's just like wooden boards and some padding and then a tarp over. And that's what a base is.
Yeah, there was a shocking, like, a lot of pallet boards underneath.
Pallet boards. That's
and,
the
like,
word I was looking for.
Dude,
It's just pallet boards.
Pallet boards are miserable. Like,
yeah.
I can't say I've ever fallen on a pallet board, but I can certainly imagine from just from feeling the things, right? And,
Yeah.
like,
I've fallen
knowing
into
that that's-
one, like on the.
yeah.
It was propped up on like leaning to the side, and I just felt like I stumbled over and fell into one. They are not nearly as breakable as like TV or movies would have you assume. They are sturdy and hard.
And it makes it all the more crazy that like they do so many freaking like okay, the things that they keep messing up are flip attempts. Like they keep tossing each other up into the air, and then just they forget like how quick a body falls back down. They're like, I think gravity will last longer than it typically does because I got to set this up, and it'll be so kind as to let me do that. And then like by the time bro's already on the ground, that's when they're getting their legs up, or vice versa. But again, that's not really the point of this. The point of this is just like, yo, this is just a showcase of guys being guys. That's all it is.
5 minutes.
Yeah. It's about the attempt more than anything.
Best thing I could think of maybe in like a more broad appeal would be like it's like a Mike Bailey versus Danny Cannon situation, where it really is just seeing fellas just do as much as they could possibly think they could do. And shockingly, minus the flips, everything they do is pinpoint. It's perfect, actually.
Yeah, they hit some crazy fucking suplexes. There's one spot which I do have to mention because it is like it's the spot of the match. It's the one that everyone anytime this match comes up like talks about. Matt DeMorris gets like backhanded like really fucking hard. Because the other thing is that DeMorris and MX5 are like hitting each other really fucking hard. They're like really stiff with it. Backhand, DeMorris throws him up onto his shoulders and hits this like double rotation F5. And I think like Jeff Cobb eventually starts doing it and calls it like the F5000. I think Brian Cage does it. This is
4 minutes.
This is in 2013. This is potentially the first time in history that this move has been done. Like I've not seen a clip from before that.
I've seen the there was a clip from 2KW actually when I was doing the music video of somebody doing that on the playground. But I'm not sure exactly
my God.
the date of it, so maybe.
You're right. Okay,
it was definitely the first time it was seen outside of a playground in New York.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I think I remember what clip you're talking about. That was like a 1.5 rotation. It was like a little bit less. This was like a two full rotations before MX5 hit the ground, which is fucking crazy.
MX5 is an unbelievably aerodynamic corpse. This dude's body was just going everywhere. And even further beyond what they thought it was going to be. I think that's also why they mistimed it. Was like I don't think they accounted for just the natural hang time that MX5 was going to get, or just the natural distance that he was going to get from getting launched into the stratosphere.
Woohoo! I have 2 notes. One, MX5, either he is like super duper young, or he has the Eddie Edwards curse of always looking like a baby. And 2, the match or the spot of the match for me personally, because I've always wanted somebody to do something like this. It's even going to be my wrestler's finisher when we create our wrestlers in the game, or something like this is going to be my wrestler's finisher. But when he does the back suplex, and instead of doing the back suplex, he rotates into a brainbuster ass DDT.
Yeah.
It's so sick, so sick.
Yeah, no, this is a match based around innovation. And that's what a lot of
And
these
it's
backyard
also
matches at the
something you
time
can
are.
only do with your, like, close friends.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah, you can only really do it with your homies, with your guys. Ethan, how much time do we got?
2 minutes, 5 seconds.
All right. Well, yeah, good match.
Yeah.
They do a lot with it. I think I'm not. I know Matt Demarest is like the guy among indie circles. At least that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Um, he kind of feels like it here actually, which is kind of odd. Maybe it's just because like that's just the perception that I've been given, but he does kind of feel like a force to be reckoned with in this thing.
Oh my god, yeah, no, because that was like his whole thing is that he's a guy that can bump crazy, he does crazy moves. Like he also has like really like good fucking execution. Like he's a knee drop at one point. It's like a really like good Randy Orton kind of knee drop. He's
Very great drop.
like he's just a guy that like was really talented and fucking understood how to do this stuff. There's very few guys that were better than him at doing this crazy bomb fest type wrestling of the period with backyard. Yeah, just but this is a match like Cake said. This is a match for the homies. This whole era is wrestling for the boys, and that's what you felt like here. This is a
And you
match
know
for
what's
Envy and
also
for the
another
boys.
important like differentiating thing is that like there's a lot of like situations that try to emulate this, but they feel too manufactured to feel real. Like I think there's a lot of like like small time indie like produce shows where it's just like a guy be like, "Ah, I gotta get all my boys together and we're gonna wrestle in this building with no ring and we're just gonna get all together and do some funny haha shit." Um, but it just feels so it feels so obvious that like the point is like, bro, what if we all got together and just had a good time? Instead of like like, hey, I think this would be sick as fuck. Let's just have like let's go out there, let's have fun. It feels less natural and it feels more like the point is look at us, we're doing funny haha stuff. This isn't serious. Whereas
Yeah,
this was taken seriously, but it was seriously to make the the guys go crazy, you
yeah,
know? Like that's the
yeah.
difference maker.
It
And I
was
think
not.
they really
Yeah,
did.
yeah, but yeah, pretty much just.
That's
And
that's the
that
key
is
difference.
it.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh
What's
no,
the rest period between this and the next one? Do you have a 30-second rest period?
Yes, I will give us
A 30
a,
second rest
rest
second
period.
period.
rest. This is fucked up. I don't like the fact that we have a rest period. It makes me think of high school testing.
Bro, we got World of Sport rules.
No,
This,
we're taking
this is
the
this is between the rounds.
we're
We're
taking the
doing the
ACT.
Texas Death
No,
British Rounds match.
no. You guys ever
Oh
seen
boy.
the American Godzilla movie?
I've heard of the American Godzilla movie, but I've never been brave enough to look at it.
Not the
I've seen the Bryan Cranston one.
I'm trying. It was like
Yeah, I've seen
19.
like the MonsterVerse ones, but I haven't seen like, like
The
the old
97,
style stuff.
98 one.
Yeah, I
The
was about
one
to say,
that's,
have you
like,
guys seen
frowned on.
the 98? Well, I'll be honest, that was the only Godzilla I had seen for like 10 years because my grandpa had I would go, I stayed with my grandparents a lot growing up, and they had just a VHS player. They didn't have cable, and they had a bunch of VHS tapes. So I watched like it was like the Little Rascals or whatever the fuck, uh, some anime movies, and then my grandfather got a copy of the 1998 Godzilla VHS, and I watched the shit out of that movie growing up. I thought that was like the best thing ever. The cover art for the VHS tape scared the shit out of me, but I was like, this is everything I want out of a movie. And then
Cover
I
art
grew
is pretty
older.
cool.
I
Oh
grew
my
I
god.
older
remember
Oh
and
my
watching
god. I'm
oh,
sorry, you guys, but I don't know if either of you have seen this yet because it happened while we were recording. But you both know that Jonathan Gresham has become spooky, right?
um
yeah, kinda.
well it's news
Okay.
I'm seeing it actively right now.
Wait,
Okay.
what?
Don't spoil it for John. Don't spoil it for John.
Okay, what's going on, brother?
I have to download
Lately
it.
it's become spooky is such a weird way of putting it.
Yes. Yes.
Jonathan Gresham has gotten creepy at TNA.
Oh, one more important note about the Godzilla thing, just before we go to the TNA. I didn't know Godzilla was meant to look like that. I thought he was meant to look like a T-Rex growing up because that's the way they made 1998 Godzilla look like. He's just a T-Rex.
Okay. Okay.
Ethan, what do
John, I
what
want
do
you
you
to
got going?
remember that this is the man who when Armani said, "You're too small for this, Gresham," said, "That's not what your mom said last night."
How could I forget?
How could anyone forget?
It's,
Are you pulling up John Gresham right now, dude? How long does it take to pull up John Gresham? Okay,
I have to
is
change it
that
from
Relic?
webtoon to JPEG.
that's
Dude,
John Gresham, brother.
dude, that is a Relic mask. What do you, what? What?
I
Dude,
don't know what to make of this.
dude,
That's
okay,
actually John Gresham. That's
this
him.
guy might be cooking. John Gresham might be a good wrestler now. Holy
No, I'll
shit.
say it. This is actually a pretty sick mask. It's just the
This is
fact that it's him.
it,
That's him.
it's got the same like air to it as the great Buddha masks from the
It
mid
does.
2000s.
Yeah, it's got the Muda, like the Muda vibes, and you
and
know, given how often this fucker does the "I love you" pose, that's intentional.
and
You see
also
like the octopus
the
going on like the side of his head?
yeah. No, he's got
That's
a
it.
got a fucked up chopped off nose. Just two holes.
Yeah, bro can't
Oh
breathe.
my god.
Dude.
He has
Yeah.
guns.
The white contacts?
Wow, you know what? There's
Did you see
actually another
the quote that they put on the official announcement for this? It says, "If you want to be honest, then you have to live a lie."
now what do you did,
What the
I don't know.
fuck
that's
does that
some
mean?
I
dude,
don't
that's
know.
some
Ask John Gresham.
that's
I'm
a
not here. I can't give you the answers here. I'm just telling you what I know. I'm just reading off the card here, man.
dude, that is
I'm
that's a
shooting the
Sigma
messenger
male
so
that's a
hard right
Sigma
now.
male video caption.
Octopus tip number 47. If you want to be honest, then you have to live a lie.
Yeah.
Dude, Jonathan Gresham been watching too much YouTube shorts.
Dude, Jonathan Gresham watching Sigma grind set videos to get over his height issues.
Sigma tip number 8. Do taunt about your PWI number.
Yes.
Always mention your kayfabe ability.
Sigma tip number
It is
47.
always relevant.
Do not let Armani say that.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I think we've gone over 30 seconds.
Oh,
Ethan,
absolutely.
you're a bad timekeeper and you need to be fired.
Yeah, no, we're giving the job back to Cake.
That's it, man. You disgust me. Oh, Kushida
Jonathan
was in the
Gresham,
match with Jonathan Gresham? Kushida's he's just standing there. He's like, "What's this guy doing?" He looks so perplexed. Oh man, that's really funny.
So,
Anyway,
next
oh man,
match, Ethan, you got
oh boy.
the timer going for 13 minutes and 51 seconds.
okay, this match, we cut off the start of it, and I think we have more things to say than we did about the Demarest
Yeah.
That
MX1,
might be true,
MX5
but
match.
unfortunately, on Scramble Bunkhouse Speed, we have set regulations
We do
here.
have to follow the regulations. Instead of considering it cut, it is considered joined in progress.
All right, so before we
Unfortunately,
start, we do have to mention the names. They are
Yes.
Giant Baka, which, if you do not know, means giant idiot, and Chinpo Saruda, which means penis Saruda. As you can tell, this is a college wrestling federation. It's called the
Yes.
University Wrestling Federation, and I do believe that it is the only UWF that has ever mattered, that will ever matter, and that does matter right now.
Yes.
that's all
So,
true.
we got the timer going.
3, 2, 1, begin.
This is a fucking crazy match.
This match rules.
It's a
This match
fucked
is
up match.
nuts. This
This
match
is
is sick as hell,
this
dude.
match is incredible, actually.
This match is actually sick as fuck.
So
There are like at least 3 to 5, not 3 to 5, there are at least like 10 to 12 of the sickest head drops I've ever seen in my entire life in this match. Some of the best renditions of moves that wrestlers who have been wrestling for decades have used and haven't done it quite as well as these college age motherfuckers. These
Yeah.
guys are on one.
And what's interesting about it is that I don't think that Chinpo Saruda even does that many jumbo tributes, but Giant Baka does more than his fair share of it. And the
Yeah.
crazy thing is that he does it well. Okay, I'm not gonna say the crazy thing is that he does it well because admittedly he has much better mobility than Giant Baba did. Um, like the running line that he did, probably the sickest running line Giant Baba variant that's ever existed.
Yes,
Far
yeah.
more than any Giant Baba conceptualization. Don't know if
I
the
just wish
coconut
he did
crusher is best
the head
ever, but
chop.
it's up there. It's up there.
Oh no, Ethan, he was doing the head chop crazy when they went on the outside and they were like
Oh yeah,
fighting.
he was. He was. My
He
bad.
was
My
throwing
bad.
because Chimpo Cerudo was throwing like stiff elbows to the jaw, and Giant Baka was throwing overhead chops like right
Oh
across
yes, he
the head.
was.
But yeah, no, this is a crazy ass match. UWF long tenured Fed. It's still around today. Just with a whole new crop of college kids because people are usually only in college for about 4 years.
They should be
But
allowed to stay if they want to. They
I
should be
will say
staying
there
forever.
are some feds that let you do that. I don't think UWF is one of them, but there are some.
Dang.
I would have forced Chimpo Saruda to get his Japanese equivalent of a master's at the same university, so he could stay studying there, stay wrestling there. Like I wouldn't make it an option. I would put it in like his whatever like tuition agreement that he signed. I would just sneak it into the fine print.
fucking up his admissions and forcing him to reapply. um,
Yes.
yeah, but Giant Baka Chimpo Saruda, this is an era of college wrestling, of student wrestling, that is very much based around tribute acts. Most famously, Men's Teo was a Terry Funk tribute act named Terry Fuck. Um, a lot of
Eddie
guys were like that,
boy.
and these are two of the most notable from their time period. Like Giant Baka is pretty like well regarded even to this day among the Japanese circles that talk about this shit. He's considered like a legend of student wrestling. Um,
Uh, and
and
for a
this
legend of
is
student wrestling, how many matches do we have of his online?
two. One of them he's working as a Masahiro Chono clone. We only
What's
have
the
one
what's the
Giant Baka match.
what's the name of his account that you found?
I think it's literally just his name.
Can
Like
you
his
pull it
like
up?
shoot name. Yeah, let me pull it up. It is
I'll ju-
Hideyuki Watanabe. Uh,
Hideyuki Watanabe, if you are watching this, send me your DVD now. My
yeah,
information
he's
will
got
be
a
in
Please.
the
bunch of
description.
them.
My
He
information
has
will be in the description. If you are watching this, send it to me now, ASAP, please. Thank you.
yeah, he posted on his channel like an opening of like a Giant Baka special DVD thing. And there's at least clips from like 6 different matches that are not the one that we were talking about now.
I will
And
I will
He's
pay
also,
a
you
this
money.
match
I
we
will
master.
are
pay you
talking
real
about
money.
right now is fully like the title is fully in Japanese, so it may be a little bit difficult to find. So we will put it in the pinned comment below because we
Yeah.
can't put YouTube links yet unless we show them our ID.
We
And I
can't
do
put our
not want to
handles
show
though. My
YouTube
handle's
my
in the
ID.
description. Please contact me. Send me your DVD.
Yeah, no. But these two guys are like insane. Like it's because that's
10
the thing with the
minutes.
tribute acts is that a lot of these guys, what they would do is they would work pretty close to who they're doing a tribute of, but they would just kind of expand upon it, and they would they'd work how you would imagine college students would like if these wrestlers were dumbass college kids without much regard for their own safety. This is how they would work. And you see that fucking Giant Baka is throwing like crazy kicks. He's dropping Jimpo Cerudo on his head with running neck breakers and crazy the release German suplex. It's like maybe the best German suplex ever.
They're wrestling like they aren't in college.
Yeah, no, that's the crazy thing is that the way they're working, it feels like they're just pros. Like some of the
It
shit they're
does.
doing feels like entirely professional, and that stems from
I said this.
the training.
I said this when I was watching it, but I think it was Chimpo Saruda who, when Giant Baka was going for a power bomb, dropped exclusively to one knee. That's something
Yeah,
that
He
you
dropped
see
to
like
both.
actual
He
pro
dropped to
wrestlers
both
do. That's like
knees.
yeah,
it's just
no,
like a mannerism that you can only pick up if you're that guy,
He
and
got
he's
him.
yeah.
that guy in
That
college.
was actually something that I pointed out while we were watching it too. Is that like Jumbo often did the single knee folding power bomb that I think Taue adopted it from him too. Of like you get him up and you go down to one knee, and you kind of just like bend it. But Chimpo here, he goes down to both. He gets in like
Yeah,
prayer position to drop this guy down.
Kane style.
He does. Oh my god, it's okay. I don't know if that was like a brain rot moment or not, but when you said that, I actually thought of like Cain from the Bible, and I was like, hold on.
that's the opposite of a brain rot moment, dude. That's like
That's
a
I
it's
don't know.
it's a
I looked
brain
at,
healing moment. You're thinking more
I,
about the Bible than wrestling.
I don't know, but I heard that and I was like, well, I mean, I said prayer position, and so I was like, context clues. He must be referring to the Bible because I said prayer position. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But you could argue that it's his Kane position in many ways because he does try to kill him by beating him over the head.
He is
So
trying to kill his brother
he is
in
trying to kill him
the
pretty
man
hard.
the only man he's wrestled on tape. And
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, we're talking about the
I
Bucks so
know.
much, but I want to mention how good these guys are at just like eating the shit out of each other and like
Yeah.
making it not they don't necessarily like sell like the great pros like a Terry Funk and a Atsushi Onita, but for the age that they sell pretty goddamn impressively.
Also, they're not pros. That's a very like the thing
Yes.
is with this match, and I think this is an important piece of context I need to give. They have, in a weird way, kind of pro training. The story that I've heard a lot is that pros have come to colleges and have done like seminars teaching how to like bump and sell and shit, because they don't want kids to die. Uh, but the main thing is that Giant Baba in like the late 70s, early 80s saw these student feds start cropping up, and he realized, hey, someone's probably going to die doing this because they have no training. So he went to like colleges and he taught them like basic bumping and basic selling and shit. He taught them that, and then ever since then, the seniors before they graduate will teach the freshmen that are in the club how to bump, and it's the same way that Giant Baba taught them. And that's at least that's the story that I've heard, that even to this day, people are being taught how to bump and sell based on what Giant Baba taught in like '83.
And I think it's very funny that it's not necessarily, well, how you phrased it is that Baba wasn't necessarily doing this out of any sort of altruism, but he was doing this because, oh, if one of these kids dies, wrestling will look awful.
Yes,
I should
that
do
is
this to prevent a fucking catastrophe.
that's the story. It was actually in you can tell it was not altruism because the story was kept secret because Giant Baba did not want his name being attached to any of these kids doing this shit just in case anything did happen. But it was like open secret that Baba had done this because he wanted to protect the business. um, but yeah, that's just these guys are doing a lot of really crazy shit, and they are going like a breakneck pace for a lot of the stuff they're doing. It's like entirely like it builds really well. Like it starts out from where we go, like it's pretty good, and then it builds more and more and more extreme shit. But there's like a solid like 7 or 8 minute span of them just hitting the most insane shit over and over and over again. Like just backdrop after lariat after knee after running neck breaker, all these things landing them on their heads.
Yeah, and they
It's
all
just
like land in the
consistent.
worst possible way.
It's consistent. Bro doesn't stop. They never stop. I mean, they
No.
do stop, but only kind of. They only kind
Yeah.
of stop at any given point.
Yeah. And I
So,
I do want to say for the intent, because we talked before about the intent with MX5
5
Divorce.
minutes.
I think the
oh,
intent here is different. Like not it's different and the same because this is you can tell from the crowd chanting and some of the stuff that happens. This is also to pop the boys, to pop the fans, because a lot of these fans they're not the fellow wrestlers, they're their fellow college students, and
They're the
some family,
homies.
but mostly just like fucking peers and shit. So they're doing funny stuff. Like at one point, there's like an insane, there's like a crazy backdrop, and then the referee does a cartwheel over the pinfall to get into position. Like it's popping the people. That's the whole point. Is to pop the people. I think with these matches though, there's more organization and there's actually more of an attempt to do traditional wrestling just as crazy as they can. So, because the thing with this match is that I would say this is actually just like looking at it from a pro wrestling context. This is a great match. This is a really great match, in fact.
I will
Um,
admit that it is a great match, but I will also say that, like Demarest MX5, it doesn't necessarily have that like true through line that you would
no,
see in a traditional wrestling match. But even then, they are working so much like pros that you can kind of forget that, and you can imagine this as a pro match between two guys who just hate each other.
yeah, yeah. It's just like it's hard to talk about this match because it really is just a lot of bombs. Kind of hard to break down a lot of bombs. But there's a spirit with everything going on of we're we're trying to emulate the shit that we love. That's the big difference between the American yarding scene and the Japanese like student wrestling scene. Is that a lot of the American yarding scene is innovation, and then a lot of the Japanese scene is like emulation. That's not to say they're copying it one for one, because that's not what's happening at all. It's just a lot of it is very clearly based on their inspiration and just kind of expanding off of. And both are kind of going for the
It's
same end goal.
emulation with a little bit of that in or what I cannot remember the word that you just said.
Innovation.
With a little bit of that innovation sprinkled in there for good measure.
Yeah, like it is. Both of them are still going for the same end goal of popping the boys, but one of them is trying harder to be pro wrestling than the other, and because of that, there's like a different delivery of like what the actual end product of the wrestling is from both the American scene and the Japanese scene. But both of them have just the insane spirit of let's go out there and do crazy shit until someone dies.
I cannot stop thinking about the that match. It is not really something that I can put completely into words after just watching it, because like you said, it is a bunch of really big bombs. But to somebody who may be turned off by that, please give this a shot. This is
Yeah.
not just necessarily bombs for bombs' sake. This is bombs that feel like they have a purpose. Even if it isn't a narrative purpose, there is a sense of these guys want to do this for the people in a way that a lot of wrestling just kind of lacks. And it's
And
the
it's
whole
also
building
like
is like fucking
it's a
rocking.
good. It's just good to watch. Like again, just something different because you're not gonna get a lot of college wrestling in anywhere but Japan, right?
Nah.
And you watch this for long enough, or you just do any hobby for long enough, you're gonna need to find other outlets, or you're gonna need to find variations of the same outlet to stay intrigued. I mean, I personally, I'm probably never gonna get tired of watching wrestling, but I will always welcome variations of wrestling. And I can
Yeah.
safely say I have not watched Japanese college wrestling before.
Yeah.
And I could probably guess that nobody else has either in certain areas.
Yeah.
So like yeah, it's
Yeah.
sick as hell, man. Just like go for it.
Yeah.
You're never gonna know what you're gonna find if you don't try. Ever.
I will say this is like the college scene is like one of my first like big agendas to try to push. Like I was pushing this agenda back in like 2019 when I first made the breakthrough of like finding this shit, and I was like, holy fuck, this is insane, and nobody talks about it because it's like a bunch of college kids doing it. It's like it's not pro. There's no. You're never gonna see it on TV. Okay, actually, in the '90s there were a few like TV broadcasts of like shows in Kirkenhall of student
Oh my
wrestlers.
god.
We have like two of them, and there's a match from one of them that's like fucking insane. But that is to say that like it's you're not going to see it really outside of like unless you just stumble across it. And this match is one that I've been pushing the agenda for since 2021, I believe, when I first saw it. So I'm happy. I'm happy to say after watching it after a few years or like broadcasting it to people for the first time in like 2 years, that it is still not stopped being fucking insane.
We are done, but I wanted to let you finish that sentiment.
Well, thank you. That's
Sauce,
the
sauce is
that's,
still there.
it's the bonus for the fact that yeah, I guess it is also worth mentioning. We don't know when the match. We don't know how long the actual match is. It just
No.
starts in the middle of it, and then we watch everything until the end. Who knows?
Which
That
I
could be
think
like
is sick
within.
because it
That
gives
could have
the
been like
vibe
within
that
a
like
minute, but
it gives the vibe that somebody saw like somebody this probably didn't happen because it was like a very good camera quality and very good production, but it just makes me think that somebody saw this with like a really good camera slung over their shoulder for no reason and said, "Oh, this shit is good. I should record this."
oh my god, I think I just realized what the problem is. Do you guys this is like old YouTube shit. Do you remember the whole thing of like I think you had to have a certain number of subscribers to be allowed to post a video that was longer than like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
It was like something like that. Yeah, this match was posted in 2012. It is 15 minutes exactly. I think that's why it's clipped. I think he probably has the full match, and he just had to cut the first minutes off because of the YouTube rules.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's
Hell,
that's
hell
crazy.
yeah.
I'm gonna die. That's fucking crazy.
But we might get the full footage if you send me your DVD.
Yeah,
Information's in the description.
listen, Mr. Watanabe, Hideyuki, if you will, brother, I will pay. I will pay $100 immediately, and I'm willing to negotiate up to 500.
Hideyuki Watanabe, I will start at 100. I'm not saying 500 is off the table, but I don't want to set your expectations too high.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
500 if you really convince me. You gotta like do your salesman pitch. But brother, I'll give you triple digits, okay? Just get me that DVD.
All
Scramble
expenses
Bunkhouse
paid.
Deathcast Patreon, where we crowdfund the ability to see more giant baka matches.
Dude.
No, I will pay with my own dime, out of my
Yeah,
own
no,
pocket.
I'm taking a part-time job to buy this DVD. I will say,
I'm taking a full-time job to buy this DVD. I am working in I'm pretending that I know how to do aerospace engineering. I'm gonna I'm gonna make a rocket crash because I want to see this DVD so bad.
well, all right, but you don't gotta make the rocket crash. But I will say I have asked around about this DVD before. I've asked around about a lot of shit. The problem with a lot of the student stuff is that a lot of the guys involved within like tape trading worlds, a lot of the guys that were involved in that, there's not really a way to contact them because once they get out of college, they just move on with their lives and they get jobs and they like forget about it. Um, Case in point, there was a match from like the late 2000s where one of the guys involved takes an emerald flosion directly onto his forehead and like 90-degree vertical spike upwards. I tweeted a clip of that, and it was like the first tweet I ever made that like went any sort of viral. It got like 1,000 something likes, but because it went kind of viral, the actual person who got spiked saw the clip and responded. It was like, "Oh my god, I forgot about this." And then he followed that up by saying, "Because I quote retweeted this, my brother saw it and then showed it to my parents, and they made me sit down and talk with them about the stuff I did in college because they did not know that I was taking bumps like this."
Oh my god.
Yeah, I actually got a guy in trouble with his parents or something he did 15 years ago. But yeah, that's the problem is that just shit happens and then people move on, and it's really hard for tape traders to find footage a lot of the time because you just have to depend on the fact that someone involved there went pro and they kept their tape. Because if they went pro and they didn't keep their tapes, you're not getting it. And if they didn't go pro, it's gonna be really fucking hard to find them and contact. So that's the reason why a lot of shit, because like a lot of these places made like DVDs and they released them, and we just don't have those DVDs because who the fuck would be able to get them?
Yeah. Maybe one day, right? Maybe one day.
Listen, I've tried. I will say there were Kirkin shows in the early 2010s. I have talked to at least one person that said he used to have a copy and he doesn't have it now, but he knows someone who he like is fairly certain does. And one day he will get it from that guy, and he will make a copy and sell it to me.
Dude.
That will probably happen in like 5 years, though, because it's already been a year since he told me he would.
Hey. One day though, one day. One
One
day.
day.
One
Well,
day.
But you know what's not happening one day, but today. Our
Oh.
creations. So our
Wow.
game for the evening is to create. We're going to be doing a draft, but instead of drafting wrestlers, we're drafting abilities from different wrestlers. And what we're creating here is the perfect backyard wrestler out of traits from people who are not backyard wrestlers.
Indeed.
We're creating some backyard homunculi.
And our categories are body, so who they look like and what their like height, weight, everything like body shape and stuff is. Who they sell like, who they strike like, athleticism, which is more who they move like than who they like their body is. So their body is just like what they look like. Athleticism is who they move like, and gimmick. We decided to cut grappling because it was a little bit boring. So those are our 5 choices. Now, since we went myself, Dom, and Cake in our last draft, which wasn't even really a draft, it was more like a personal crucifixion of me by a wheel. The order for this time is Jom, Cake, and then myself.
Oh
So
fuck.
Jom,
Oh boy.
first pick.
Oh my god.
Where are you going? And you can pick your first for any trait.
Okay. I'll be honest. I'm entirely winging this.
Can you post the trait list again, just so I can take a little peeky?
Absolutely. I'm gonna put it right next to Jonathan Gresham on the horse Plinko machine.
Okay. No, horse Plinko. Wait, no.
Covering up the horse Blinko with bullet traits.
No, I'm gonna put it on Jonathan Gresham's chest.
Oh, now we're talking.
It's like a tattoo, like a Bible verse. Oh my god. Okay. You know what? Actually, okay. I'll start with the top one. I'll go with body, and there are a couple ways that you could really go about this, but I think there's an with the backyard. Too many people underrate this body type within the backyard and how vital it is. I'm going to take the body type of Ryota Hama.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm making a big boy.
The
Okay,
big
John.
man, Ryota Hammer.
A vision is slowly forming in my head of who I'm going to craft.
That is.
All right, Cake.
That's ridiculous. Okay. Well, the body has been already established pretty crazy style. So I'm gonna take ooh, I think I'm gonna go with the striking power of also just preface, I also have not planned anything at all. This is all going off of just the top of the dome. So as a matter of fact, actually, better idea, Ethan. I need you to pick a category for me, and I'm just gonna instinctively say the first thing that comes to mind.
Selling.
Okay.
Oh yeah, selling.
Selling. All right, we're gonna take this the selling of the Miz.
Oh my god.
Dude.
I said I was gonna do the first thing that came to my mind. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my mind, but that's what it's gonna be.
I'm starting to get worried that all
It's gonna
4
be
other
the Miz.
answers are going to be the Miz.
I don't know what that, but it was
Well,
the
they
first thing
can't
that came to
be.
my mind.
Well, okay, the next is gonna be Mike Mizanin.
I don't even think that's a good pick. It's just what came to my brain first.
I've never thought about the mis-selling in my entire life. No, actually, I have thought of. I remember there was like a tweet once. I was like, check out the mis-selling. It was really bad.
It was just
So,
the first thing that came to my mind, man, and I gotta ride with it.
yeah,
Clearly,
no,
clearly,
You
some
do.
part of me thought a backyarder should sell like this.
dude, you are never catching dives.
Never
All
get
That's
right,
injured.
so
that's a great trait for a backyarder, actually, because everyone dives and you never catch any of them.
yes. And going
Oh.
along with that, you never catching any dives. I have like 3 of these categories already planned in my head for hours. So I already know who I'm going to be choosing for them. And I'm so happy that he's still available. Give me the athleticism. So this is a wrestler who moves like Sabu. Give me somebody
Oh.
who's going to miss half of his dives intentionally.
Oh yeah.
Intention. Okay, you know what? Just a quick pause. I just want to say this. Do we just all believe now that Sabu is telling the truth there? Because I don't. I think he's just lying because it's funny. Like
He
I think
probably
he
is.
legitimately just missed those dives. Like I don't think it's anything deeper. But I feel like I've seen a lot of people just buying into it. Which like okay, it's funny, but also it's like El Generico orphanage thing. You know, let's be honest.
It's like
He's
them
just-
removing Shibata's brain.
yeah. Well, okay. Well,
That's
that
why I
happened.
like saying it.
But the Sabu selling thing is really funny because I remember there are so many people I know that are like, "Oh, you don't understand. Sabu's like the smartest guy alive because he was working the marks." Like, no, you fucking idiot. Sabu's just funny on Twitter. Okay, get over it.
Hey,
I
he just
just
likes
want him to
posting.
like I want him to not have the coordination to make most of his stuff, like his dives hit. You know?
Yeah,
I want him to
yeah,
fall on his ass a lot. Intentional or not.
of course, of course.
Hey, John, what's your next pick, huh?
Well, I have been thinking about this a little because, yeah, I think there's a certain way that I could go about this, and then I realized that there's a really funny thing I could do here. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do striking power next. The striking ability of my wrestler. He will have the striking ability of Kim Hyun Hwan.
Oh
Whoa.
my god.
Okay. All right.
He
Okay.
will be
Fuck
a
you.
Taekwondo backyarder.
Dom is taking
Right.
like the extreme version of all my picks so far.
my vision, brother.
Wow. 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 Okay. This guy's going crazy.
Cake, how are you going to respond to that craziness?
Well, it's gonna depend on the next category here for sure. Ethan, what is the next category that I need to respond to?
Let me see what your gimmick's gonna be.
I think my gimmick's gonna be the boogeyman.
Oh my god, yes!
Back
Yes!
Boogeyman sell like the Miz.
I
Let's
I
go.
started the sentence with I think my gimmick's gonna be, and I just hoped I would come up with something by the time I finished the sentence. And I
And you did!
I did. Second thing was MVP. So,
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
but alas, not MVP. It's the boogeyman.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay, I need to take the other half of this 1-2 punch.
The
So somebody
MVP.
not MVP, sadly. Not
Oh.
MVP.
Oh,
But with my athleticism being Sabu as somebody who's going to miss a bunch of dives, I'm going to choose the selling of Terry Funk. So he's
dude.
going to miss
Okay.
these dives, and he's going to fucking have a heart attack every single time he misses a dive.
Dude.
Oh no.
That's insane. What the fuck are you? What are you cooking?
You'll see what I'm cooking in a minute. You'll see what I'm cooking in a minute.
He's cooking
Oh.
something.
Okay. Wow, I have to like enter the mind palace for a second. How am I going to respond to that?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Okay. All right, actually I think I know. So my gimmick. I believe I'm going to do gimmick next. My
Uh-oh.
guy, my built like Ryota Hama, strikes like Kim Hyun Hwan guy, will adopt a gimmick from 1980s rock and wrestling peak era WWF Hulk Hogan.
Oh my god.
Brother, you are saying your prayers, eating your vitamins, and taking this fucking kick, okay?
What is he gonna flex?
Dude, this is the whole. Dude, he's gonna flex and it's gonna go down. It's all
Oh
gonna
my
go
god.
downwards. Yeah,
You
no,
have to
he's
have him do like some sort of instead of just like a Hulk Hogan pose, he's got to do something with his stomach. Or tits.
he's
He's got to learn how to do the peck pop.
yeah, the peck pop, but like with the floppy titties.
You just hear a smack when it falls down.
This is crazy stuff, man. This is
Listen,
crazy stuff.
the vision is assembling.
All right, Cake. I think I have your next category selected for you.
Well, it's already easy. I mean, I already know where I want to go next. Obviously, I have the selling of the Miz and the gimmick of the Boogeyman. The next step is already logical.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, just name anything. I already know what it is.
Striking.
DDP.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is a man
Diamond
who's
Dallas
been doing his
Page,
yoga.
baby.
dude.
That's a backyard striker if I ever saw one, dude. If I saw a backyarder striking like DDP, I'd go, "Is that maybe a DDP punch? Is this guy possibly emulating Diamond Dallas Page?"
Hey, what is
Diamond Page.
what is the signature strike of Diamond Dallas Page to warrant
Oh,
this?
well, I said striking. It's more of like a hole, you know. It's like the
You're
concept
right,
of
you're right. But what is one strike that you can point out from TDP that would translate over?
the iconic DDP discus punch that he used to do.
You are right. He did in fact do the
You're
discus
right.
punch. Yeah.
The trademark DDP discus punch, of course.
Wow. And this
Lest you forget.
guy sells like the Miz, and you got the gimmick.
All
Wow,
right,
Whole
so
we
big
now I'm gonna
boogeyman.
reveal why one of Jom's picks is like an extreme version of mine.
Oh,
So Jom, you chose Kim Hyun Hwan for striking.
I did.
You went an extreme in one direction. I'm not necessarily gonna go an extreme in the other direction. If I was, I would pick Takeshi Ono. But I'm gonna go somewhere a little bit in the middle. Give me Satoru Sayama's striking.
Whoa.
Dude. So shoot.
Yes. This is a guy who throws himself onto the mat and has like a conniption every time he does. But when he hits you hard.
Wow.
You're making this like the most reckless wrestler imaginable. You're just
Wait till you
making
see
the
the
most
body and the
dangerous
gimmick.
guy.
Dude,
Oh,
that's that's crazy.
I don't even want to
Um
imagine.
God. Oh my god. I'm trying to think. How do I I'm trying to. I think is I'm trying to think of the name of the guy because I actually know who. Because I want to do selling next, and God, I don't know. Oh, okay. Uh. So for my guy, he will sell. He will sell like Bubba Ray Dudley.
Wow.
What?
That's a crazy pull.
He will
What?
sell like Bubby Ray, the brother Ray, if you will.
Why Bubble Ray? Could you elaborate on that?
Well, it's just I think about I think about selling, and I remember the Bubba Ray the Bubba Ray sell where he goes, "Ah, ah, ah."
All
You know
right.
the one, you know the
No,
one.
yeah, of course. Yeah, no,
He
obviously.
just kind of flails.
I mean, I think about it all the time, honestly.
Yeah. He's
When
got
I'm lying
the
in bed, it kind of flashes in my brain. It'd probably be the first thing I think of when I die.
yeah. He like gets hit and his eyes bulge out and he like flops around like a fish. I mean,
Yeah.
Devon did the floppy fish thing more, but Bubba Ray Dudley also big
Yeah.
floppy type of seller.
You guys hear that May 5th is now Spider Nate Webb Day in the state of Indiana?
Wait, what?
Yeah, the Indiana House of Representatives. It is hereby known and proclaimed that May 5th, 2024 is proclaimed to be Spider Nate Webb Day by the state representative Mitch Gore.
Good thing that it's
Anyway,
on
That's
Cinco de Mayo to celebrate El Drunko as well.
that's
yeah.
awesome.
So shout out to Nate Webb for having a state holiday in the state of Indiana now.
Wait,
Yeah.
is this
Shout out
is
Nate
this
Webb.
like a thing, or are you just doing a bit?
No, I'm not doing a bit. I'll send an image in the group chat.
Oh, okay. This is wow. Wait, what? What? Oh, it's real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. I'll commit to Bubba Ray. I was trying to.
You're gonna change to Spider Nate Webb.
I'll be honest. The Spider Nate Web selling is the type I was thinking of, but I blanked and remembered Bubba Ray selling funny one time.
Oh my god, John.
But
The
I'm
fumble of the
committing.
century.
I'm committing. Bubba Ray Dudley selling for my
Actually
guy.
fumbled the century.
I
Is
fumbled
crazy.
crazy. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Where are you headed?
Whoa, I mean, where could I not head after that? I mean, I still got athleticism and body, correct?
Mhm.
You know, this is a toughie, but I think I gotta. What do you think I gotta go with, John? Where do you think I gotta head next on this?
You got athleticism and body. I think you got to go with the body. You know, wrestling's a body
Yeah.
sport.
No,
So,
I would 100% agree with you. That's why I think the body would have to probably be Haystacks Calhoun.
okay. What?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Dude,
What?
Haystacks Calhoun pool is insane.
I don't know, man. I think that's.
You just pulled Haystacks Calhoun out and like.
I think Haystacks is the way to go, man. I think that's the guy. I think that's
I
the
mean,
guy.
It is the way to go.
yeah, I see it, but
It's clear to me that a guy like Haystacks, keep in mind, Boogeyman Haystacks is gonna.
Yes.
Pokemon, dude, you are making the fiend.
I don't
He's
know
making
about
the
that.
fiend.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
You're building a new fiend for the yard.
I wouldn't say that that's true, but I don't know. If my subconscious has been guiding me towards the Fiend, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that.
Oh no.
Oh
If
my
if
god,
my gut instinct has been to make a Build-A-Bear the Fiend,
the more I
I
think
don't know
about
how
it,
to feel.
Miz selling and fucking. You know what? The more I think, I'm starting to get worried, Cake.
No, come on. DDP is
Wait,
not a
okay, could you
DDP
Oh,
did not
DDP
strike like the
striking. Oh my god, this is
bro,
the Fiend.
dude, DDP did not strike like the Fiend. What are you talking about? He did not. He did not. You're making this up. You're making this up. You're psyoping yourself,
you're,
dude.
you're psyop. All right, Ethan. Speaking of
Oh
psyops, what
god.
fucking psyop are you cooking up next with this guy?
Okay, so I'm choosing a body next, and I'm very upset that both of you have chosen fat boys because I am still going to choose a fat boy, but I will
Dude.
give you the two names that I almost chose. I almost
Oh.
chose the Spider Nate Webb. He was my first pick, but then I realized that's what all backyarders look like. And then I went Jonathan Gresham, but then I realized, maybe not. So I'm going a very specific era for this wrestler. Give me 2007 singlet Kevin Steen for my body.
Oh my god. So you're on a scale of 1 to 10, you're kind of closer to the 3, and then I would say Cake is closer to the 7, and then I'm the 10. Because
Yeah.
well, Haysex Calhoun compared to Ryota Hama, that's a hard
That's a
hard to
tough
decide who
bargain.
is fatter. But Fat Boy Kevin, I see the vision there. Wow.
I mean,
And
that's
he's just
definitely
going to
nothing
be,
to shake a stick at. Definitely nothing to shake a stick at all.
Absolutely.
because I want to see him, like, I want to know what the thud of 2007 singlet Kevin Steen landing on the ground and then, like, flailing about like Terry Funk would sound like.
Yeah.
No?
I understand. I do understand.
I mean, the
Wow.
vision is clear, for sure.
The vision for me is not. I'm on to my final pick, athleticism.
Oh
And
man.
I'm uncertain. I am in fact uncertain. But
You're conflicted? Misusing your
yeah,
influence?
there's a couple ways I could go about this. But I think my answer is pretty simple. The year, what year is this? Uh, uh,
I believe it's
the year,
2024.
no, the year is 2009, and
I don't think it is, but okay.
this is from the WrestleMania 25. I would like my guy's athleticism to be WrestleMania 25 Undertaker.
What?
So I want him to be mostly very limited, but he has a few shocking shines of athleticism if he puts his mind to it. And of course, I
Does
want him
he
to
almost kill
spike
himself
himself.
every single time?
I want him to
Yes.
spike himself on his head every single time he does a dive, to vertically like an arrow into the ground.
If Ryota Hama did that once, he would be dead.
Well,
Yeah,
On
you're
well,
asking,
contact.
what?
you're asking the guy to kill himself, John.
Listen, no, you don't understand. Okay, he's also like the Undertaker, where he will survive.
I mean, I guess is that your gimmick? I don't think your gimmick's the
No,
Undertaker,
no,
dude.
that's not my gimmick. My gimmick is Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
Oh, well, you
So
could Hulk up out of it, I guess.
Yeah, you see,
well,
you
that's
don't see
true.
the
That's true.
vision.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
his
Okay.
signature spot. Every match is going for a dive, missing, spiking himself vertically, and then hulking up on the outside.
Oh,
He
yeah.
Every
he beats
time.
the 10 count by like half a second because he hulks up right at the last second and then runs in.
Every time, huh?
Well, yeah, every time in Cake. I want to know. You got one category left. You got I believe athleticism too.
I do have athleticism left, and wow, I mean this is gonna be a certain toughie because let's run through it real fast. Let me filibuster for a second. We've got the body of Haystacks Calhoun, the selling of the Miz, the striking of Diamond Dallas Page, and the gimmick of the Boogeyman. So I think it only stands to reason that I'd have to end this with I'd have to say the athleticism of Hoodfoot.
That's
Oh, God.
I can't, man. That's just the first thing that came to my brain.
That's the first person that came about. It's a crazy way to end it. Like with all
I
those
don't
other names, and you think of Hoodfoot.
I don't again, I'm not really sure why. as I was going through the filibuster, just listing everything, I was trying to think of like, I gotta think of something that's not the Fiend. I gotta think of something that's not the Fiend. Yeah, Hoodfoot, which is not.
Although, when I think about it, if you compare it to athleticism, I think Hoodfoot and the Fiend were pretty similarly athletic.
No, I don't know.
No, if you
No.
think about it,
I don't think so. I don't think so. Hoodfoot could not do a spider walk. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
okay, that's true. Well, you don't
So
know.
you've
He's
made a
never
less
tried.
athletic Fiend?
You made a fatter Fiend.
Okay, well, hold on. That's different though. That's not the Fiend. I haven't made the Fiend. I made a better Fiend. I've made
Dude,
Fiend 2.
you Fiend too.
I made a better one. This is not
Dude,
the
you
Fiend. This is the creature. This is a
you
different
made
guy.
the creature.
Yes.
This is a different guy.
I love the creature already.
Well, Ethan.
Oh god. Cake is dying. It's going Joker
Wait.
mode.
Cake accidentally made the creature. I would be dying too.
I would.
I can't believe I'm unleashing the creature into the backyard.
All right, my gimmick and the wrestler who I'm pretty much making a version of him on crack. Is my wrestler is the body of Kevin Steen, the selling of Terry Funk, the striking of Satoru Sayama, the athleticism of Sabu, and the gimmick of Playboy Buddy Rose.
Dude, what is going on?
He is not 271, he is 217, motherfucker. This is a slim, handsome man that all the ladies want to get with, and they want to get with him because he acts like he's gonna die every time he falls over.
I thought you said acts like he wants to die. I think you're gonna say like his gimmick is that he's a suicide painter. He's like, you're so beautiful, please date me or I will kill myself.
Is that what you think the Playboy Buddy Rose would do, John?
If
You think
Playboy Buddy
would do
Rose
that?
was wrestling in 2024, I think his gimmick would be threatening to kill himself unless the ladies love him. Like he's some sort of weird bleach blonde Sam Shaw. Oh, that should have been my gimmick. It should have been Sam Shaw.
Dexter Loomis. You
Dude.
missed.
Like Dexter Loomis is fake. Sam Shaw is real.
All right,
Wow.
John. Care to go over your wrestler? If you want to,
Of course.
you can create a name for your wrestler.
Oh, don't worry, I already have. He has the body of Ryota Hama. He sells like Brother Ray. He strikes like Kim Hyun Won. He has the athleticism of WrestleMania 25, The Undertaker. His gimmick is that he is Hulk Hogan, but it is important to know he is not a real American. He is a real Albanian. He is the Albanian Big Boss.
Oh my god.
Does he have an
Is
actual
that just
name?
his name?
Yes, his name is the Albanian Big Boss. His nickname is the Real Albanian, and he comes up to a song that goes, "I'm a real Albanian, fight for the rights of Albanians."
Oh my god.
I like the idea that he fits Albania into every line.
Yes. Every promo he cuts, he mentions Albania.
Well, he kind of has to. He is the
But
Albanian war.
every single line in the promo, he's like, "How are we doing today here in not Albania?" This day is beautiful, but I bet it's even more beautiful in Albania.
Yes.
I'm going to defeat you for Albania. If I lose, I will return to Albania.
Say your prayers and eat your Albanian vitamins.
Say your prayers and eat your vitamins from Albania.
I've got those 24 Albanian pythons.
Dude, I have 24-inch pythons straight from Albania. He does say the 24-inch pythons thing, but of course, when he flexes, instead of the muscles going up, the fat goes down.
Yes.
What a power! What a powerful move!
What is
Well,
your wrestler? What
I think I
is
already
it? Just a
established.
creature?
Yeah, I think we established that already.
Well, run it down for the people.
No, of course. So we've got the body of Haystacks Calhoun, the selling of the Miz, the striking of Diamond Dallas Page, the athleticism of Hoodfoot, and the gimmick of the Boogeyman. This is the creature. I mean, what more can even be said about the creature? He comes out wearing a black hole-esque attire.
Oh my god, that's a crazy pull.
Yeah, he's gonna come out looking similar to Black Hole, but more twisted and sick. Imagine if
More twisted and sick black hole. What do
Hamburger
you
helper black hole.
What do you mean?
well, like imagine
He's
if,
like black hole, but more even more cruel and unusual.
With hyper
like
realistic
imagine
blood.
if imagine if like Black Hole watched the Babadook into
Oh my
Black
god.
hole watched the Babadook.
yeah, and then he was like, okay, I got some ideas.
He put some Jonathan Gresham great Muda texture on his mask.
No, he doesn't go that far. He doesn't have the money for that. He doesn't have the money for that.
Oh, that's true. That's true. This is a backyard wrestler after all.
Yeah,
oh
but
my
he's
god, but right, yeah.
but he's heavily inspired by the Babadook, and he looks like an evil, more sick and twisted Black Hole.
Inspired by the Babadook. I am the pro wrestling Babadook.
No. He doesn't speak. He doesn't speak.
No, yeah, of course he doesn't speak, but that's him when he's doing shoot interviews with High Spot.
Yes.
RF video interview with the creature.
Video of the creature.
Oh
Who's
my
his
God.
handler gonna be? Who's the man who's gonna speak for him?
Simon
my
Gotch.
God. Okay. Oh, I wish I had a better answer because I was gonna give it a knee-jerk reaction, but I was too busy chuckling. I will. Yeah, the moment's gone. Maybe one day I'll figure it out. I will say though, part of the lore is he asks all of the boys. They have to call him the creature. They can't just shorten it. That has to be like single
Yeah,
time.
they have
he
to
has to be
include the
called-
V.
Yeah, in shoot interviews and all discussion. Full title.
Somebody calls him Creech once backstage and gets the shit kicked out of him.
Oh yeah.
Creech.
He blackballs that man.
Dude, he beats
Super
the
style.
shit
I
out
have
of
an even
them
better
with
question,
DDP
because it
discus
wouldn't be like-
punches.
Yes. It wouldn't be like a real manager who he would have. So the even better question: what kind of accent would the guy have who's managing him?
Oh, definitely Indonesian. Most definitely.
That is a
The
great
creature hails from Indonesia. Oh man, this sounds like something that like an old carnival barker would try to get you to see in like their weird little like sideshow tent. Come see the great
the great Indonesian creature.
The great Indonesian creature versus the Albanian big boss. It's
Dude.
gonna be a-
We're crafting a crazy angle right now for our eventual Scramble Bunkhouse E-Fed.
eventual. It's gonna happen.
Listen,
it is gonna happen.
It's an inevitability.
We're just gonna keep doing these. We're gonna get addicted to making backyard wrestlers and just keep making more.
And we're gonna message H and say, hey, can you make all of these in Fire Pro?
Dude, I had a great NXT name I thought of the other day.
Oh,
I thought of like Kyler Wave, and I've been thinking about that.
Oh my god.
Kyler Wave.
Dude, yeah, that's such an NXT name. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
I could
Dye
totally
Johnny
see it.
Gargano's hair blonde and make him
Yeah, call him Kyler Wave. Anyway,
Dude, ride the wave, bro.
Okay, I've finally come up with it.
that's
Enough
huge.
filibustering. Okay, so this wrestler who has the body and very importantly singlet of 2007 Kevin Steen,
Oh,
the selling of Terry Funk, the striking of Satoru Sayama, the athleticism of Sabu, and the gimmick of Buddy Rose.
Oh man.
So you know how Kevin Steen in 2007 he had the like that cutout on his on like the front of his God, why can't the front of his singlet of him doing a
Yeah.
Yeah,
moonsault.
yeah.
So this wrestler is going to have a cutout, but instead of that, it is going to be two people having sex.
Wha-
And that's going to be the front of his
Oh,
that's
word?
going to be emblazoned on the front of his singlet.
What
And
specific position? This is important.
uh I haven't decided yet. I think uh missionary, because his
Oh,
nickname is going to be the Talk, because if any child ever attends one of these backyard shows and sees his singlet or hears his name, their parents are going to have the talk with them at some point within the next like 3 to 6 weeks.
Oh,
oh my
dude,
god.
what are you cooking?
And that is the Talk, Sex Ferguson.
No. You're
Hey,
you're
wait,
not
hey, wait, hold
no.
on.
No,
Hold on.
you did not just get away with making Sex Ferguson.
Now hold on. That sounds oddly similar to a certain other individual.
Dude, Ethan,
That, that,
Ethan, if you can
seems
flatter
that
me,
seems
can you
awfully similar to
who you picked again for all of the categories?
Oh my god, I completely forgot that was his fucking name.
Dude,
I knew the phrase Sex Ferguson from somewhere, but I completely forgot where it was. Jesus Christ.
this guy. You just stole that. You just
you
straight up
just
took that from
and
somebody.
you got the singlet like he wear. Dude, you made Sex
Okay, his
Ferguson
name is
it.
Sex McBride now.
Nah, no. You try to take me from subconsciously making the feed, brother. You subconsciously made Sex Ferguson.
You know
Your
what?
mind's eye was, I gotta make Sex Ferguson, and I gotta do it quick. That says a
And I
lot
made
more
him.
about you than it does me.
I made him shorter, fatter, and better.
Dude, I can't believe you just said Sex Ferguson like that was an Ethan original. That was
I
an Ethan
forgot.
Axelrod custom creation.
The debut of Sex Ferguson within the human collective mind.
This is
Never before uttered.
Sex Ferguson, but before Sex Ferguson. You know,
Dude, he has a
he
micro
was doing this
brawler?
shit on the backyard indies in the 2000s. So he is going to sue Luke Gallows for gimmick infringement.
Okay. Alright.
Dude,
Oh, man.
I'm taken aback. You really just said Sex Ferguson.
What a life this is, huh? What a world we
Oh,
lead.
I forgot to say, because I talked about the Albanian Big Boss, but I never actually explained what he looks like. I'm putting it on here. The Albanian Big Boss is dressed like Steven Seagal from the famous article, Steven Seagal is proud of his success with women.
Okay.
Yes,
I just look like
that's the
Steven
only
Seagal.
word.
If you take a look, this is basically just take this and supplant it onto actually no, just keep it the same. He's just Steven Seagal. He's called the Albanian Big Boss.
No, I see the vision. I totally see the vision.
Does Ryoto Hama have this goatee?
Yes.
Glasses too?
Yes.
Okay, you
Wrestles
win.
in glasses.
Yeah, he wrestles in glasses because he's the big boss.
Wow, that's really powerful, man.
Okay, John,
If
I think
only
you're
there was
missing
some like
something. There's something missing from this picture. Where is his Albanian flag? Huh?
That's a good point. He's not repping Albania.
it's true.
Sadly, real Steven Seagal is not the Albanian Big Boss.
No, but you can imagine with your brain.
Yes, of course. Give me a second. I can actually quickly rectify this absolute mistake on my part.
Use the power of your mind's eye to put Albania on Steven Seagal where you want it to be.
Yeah, you can put it anywhere, but I'm going to put it right here.
I think
Imagine.
this has been the most successful episode of the Scramble Bunkhouse Deathcast in getting our agendas out quickly and honestly and purely.
Yeah.
But also, I think we could start a war in the comments between Albania and Indonesia if we do wish.
God, if only there was like a fucked up little devious thing that could steal those glasses from Steven Seagal.
No, the creature would never, right?
How do you know? You're not the
No.
Indonesian spokesman.
I'm not the Indonesian.
Yeah, you're not certified ring crew and spokesman of the creature Mr. Kennedy.
What?